A normal 5 to 10 years old child should sleep for at least 10 hours per day.
Okay.
And children above 10 years should have at least 9 hours of sleep per day. Have obesity
Okay, so
because
if
of
you
the
have
catch up
low
growth.
birth weight,
Yes, correct.
you can still be obese.
Still be obese. And in infants, it is told that at least 30 minutes of tummy time should be given to kids till 1 year of age per
Okay.
day.
Indian parents have gone overboard for protecting their child against any kind of health problem, so much so that sometimes they miss out on important details. And for this reason, just specifically for the Indian pediatric age group, the child population in India, today we have Mumbai's top pediatrician, Mrs. Nidhi Singh. Hello, ma'am. Thank you for being on my podcast.
Thank you, Dr. Aditi, for inviting me here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, today Indian parents and even grandparents they have this little nagging habit of comparing their child to their neighbor कि बाजू वाले बच्चे ने चलना स्टार्ट कर लिया उसने पहले फटाक से बोलना चालू कर दिया और हमारे बच्चे ने अभी तक नहीं किया है तो sometimes this can be nagging but importantly when is this actually useful to diagnose certain conditions? Can you just shed light on that?
So, as we all know, that growth and development is a very important domain in our pediatrics. And in our day to day practices, we see many kids who are having developmental delay. And the earlier we diagnose, the better we are able to manage them, and the earlier we are able to start the management. And it has been found that males are 30% more likely to suffer from developmental delay as compared to females.
What do you exactly mean by developmental delay? In what sense is
Yes.
that delay happening?
It is a process by which a newborn gradually grows, develops under four domains like the gross motor, fine motor, personal social development, and language development. So, we basically assess the development under these four domains. So, an infant attains the milestones under these four domains and gets ready to enter into adulthood.
So, can you explain what is gross motor and fine motor for the public?
So gross motor means basically that comes like neck holding. When did the neck holding start? When did the child start to sit? When did the child start to stand?
Or walk.
Started walking,
So
started
basically the
running.
large muscle groups.
Yes, so the major muscle groups. So these are basically related to the muscle coordination.
Yeah.
Similarly, fine motor movements like when did the child start holding a pencil? When did the child start scribbling? When did the child start coloring? Or when is he able to feed himself with the cup and spoon?
Okay.
So those are fine motor where the fine muscles of the body are involved.
Yes.
Then we come to personal social development. So like when did the child started having a social smile?
Yeah.
When did the child started recognizing his mother? When did the stranger anxiety come? So that is a personal and social development towards the society. And last is the language development. Obviously, when did the child start speaking? So these are the four domains under which we assess the development of a child. So see, basically, parental concern is a very normal thing and a very you can say it's a very
Natural
genuine
thing.
and
Yeah.
natural thing
Yes.
because we tend to compare our kids with the neighboring kids. But every time the concern is also not correct also because every child has its own developmental pace. So we cannot always compare them with the other children.
Correct.
But there are certain red flag signs where we should be very vigilant about it. So there are certain pointers like within 1 year, if a child is able to make eye contact, first of all. Secondly, if he or she responds to his or her name. Thirdly, suppose we are telling where is mama, where is papa, and if the child is able to look towards the parents. And the child is able to bring into notice, like suppose a child is playing in a room. Suppose mother is entering, mother is leaving the room. The child is able to bring into notice that thing.
Before 1 year of
before
age.
1 year of age. If all these four parameters are there, then the chances of developmental delay are less likely.
Okay, so
Yes.
these are mainly social milestones, right?
These are mainly,
Yeah,
yes,
because
yes.
recognizing
Ha.
and noticing that the
Yes,
mother is going,
yes,
coming, this is
ha.
all for. So
Yes.
social milestones are so
Very
important.
important. Matlab, these are something which we can assess before 1 year.
Okay.
Now, certain motor milestones, suppose a child has not developing social smile even by 3 months of age.
Okay.
There is no neck holding by 6 months of age.
By social smile, I have to smile only at the mother, right?
No, social smile can smile at anybody.
Just
One is spontaneous smile with the child that develops even early, as
Okay.
early as maybe 15 days, 1 month. So
Okay.
the child will smile spontaneously, whether
Okay.
there is any stimulus or whether there is no stimulus. But social smile is only in response to a stimulus.
Okay.
When he or she sees a face, the child will respond.
Or
So
somebody
that
is
is
talking
social
to
smile.
him.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. So when anybody is trying to interact, the child will have a social smile.
Understood.
So that is social smile. So suppose the child is not having social smile by 3 months, no head control by 6 months, child is not able to stand by 18 months, not able to walk steadily by 2 years of age.
Okay.
Then these are certain red flag signs that the child needs a developmental assessment.
Okay.
Yes.
What could it indicate? What kind of diseases?
See, basically, it has n number of causes.
Okay.
So, developmental delay in itself is a very huge thing.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So, basically, genetic causes are there, non genetic causes are there. Certain very basic things that we can do at the general pediatrician level, like hearing screening, vision screening. We can go for a thyroid function test, serum iron levels, and vitamin B12 levels.
When they see these signs.
So when we feel that a child is lacking for his or her age in development, we should ideally first start with these few tests.
Okay.
And if we feel that these all are normal but we are not able to find a cause, then usually we refer to one step higher to a developmental pediatrician.
Okay, there's
Because
something known as a developmental
pediatrician also, correct?
Okay,
Yes.
great. So, ma'am, but in
Huh.
practice, what is the most common anomaly or disease that you will find for people with delayed milestone?
So see, basically there is a domain called as autistic spectrum disorders,
Okay, what
ASD.
ASD?
ASD. So it
Okay.
has become very common nowadays.
Oh,
So because of many reasons, both the parents are working, they are not getting time to interact.
oh,
So it has a very huge spectrum. ASD
wow.
has a huge spectrum. So each and every child will not display the full signs and symptoms of the spectrum.
Can you just tell a few basic signs
So
of
just
autism?
like what I told na,
Huh.
ki there is no eye contact.
Okay.
Yes, there is no personal social communication.
Huh.
The child regards things as his or her world. He
Oh,
does not recognize faces. For them, toys, the things are his world.
okay.
So it is like that.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Ma'am, recently I was reading that after China, India is the number one country where obesity in children is such a huge
Correct.
problem. It's almost an epidemic. So, why is this happening, and what can the Indian parent today do to prevent this or take control of this matter actually?
So this is a very important topic actually. Obesity has become a current epidemic in our country. In 2017, the statistics were released which showed that almost 14.4 million children in India suffer from either overweight or obesity.
Okay.
So if the BMI is between 25 to 30, we label it as overweight.
Oh.
But if the BMI is more than 30, we label the child as obese.
Obese.
Yes. So
Okay.
then we have to basically do a BMI charting for all the children above 5 years of age at least once a year who come to visit us.
Okay.
So that is, it is so important.
Hmm.
And basically now to your next question, that why the incidence of obesity is rising so much. So actually the onset of obesity starts from as early as the conception of a child in the womb.
Oh.
Yes. So if the mother is overweight, if the mother is gaining very extra kilos in pregnancy,
Okay.
mother suffers from gestational diabetes mellitus.
What is extra weight? How much extra is dangerous?
So basically, what we expect is around 15 to 18 kgs tak is normal
weight gain.
But then that is also on an individual basis.
Okay.
So if you gain like extra kilos during pregnancy, more than the average, so then there are chances that the child can be obese.
Okay.
Yes. And supposedly the mother is having smoking tendency.
Mm.
So all this can increase the chances of childhood obesity.
Okay.
On the other hand, if the baby is born low for weight, not
But usually, ma'am, less than
2
2.5
kg,
kgs or 2
less than
kg?
2.5 kg is called as a low birth weight
Low birth
usually.
weight.
Yes, less than
Yes.
2.5
Which is
kgs,
not good, which is
which
not
is,
normal.
yes, that is not normal.
Yes.
More than 2.5 is a average weight for a
Yeah.
child.
Okay.
So those kids, they tend to have an catch up growth in the first 2 years of life, and then they also tend to have obesity. Sometimes they tend to have
Okay,
obesity
so
because
if
of
you
the
have
catch up
low
growth.
birth weight,
Yes, correct.
you can still be
Still
obese.
be obese by the
Okay.
catch up growth and all in the first 2 years of life.
Okay, so they start growing at a very high speed
Yes,
compared
yes,
to the normal
yes,
birth weight
yeah,
child.
yes,
Okay.
and then they tend to be obese.
Okay.
So this is then we start with breastfeeding of the children. So now breastfeeding is also related to obesity.
Okay.
How? So it has been found that those mothers who don't do exclusive breastfeeding till the first 6 months,
Hmm.
in those kids the chances of obesity are almost 6 to 10 times higher as compared to the mothers who do
Okay.
exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months.
Ma'am, but a lot of mothers also complain
Yeah.
that they're not producing enough milk.
So see, there are many factors. There are many factors, but
Hmm.
then there are lactational consultants who are available.
Okay.
They can come to the pediatricians for the correct positioning. They can meet their gynecologists. So
Okay.
we have certain lactational supplements also which increase the lactation.
Correct.
We can explain them the correct positioning.
Hmm.
So there are many helps available across if they are really suffering from a low milk production.
But actually, I have never heard of any mother in my friend circle who has
Huh.
never given formula milk, at least,
Correct.
once or twice a
So
day.
see, basically the incidence of working mothers has also increased.
Yes.
So that is also now the mothers, they need to go to work once the child is 6 months old.
Hmm.
So that is their concern ki if we don't start giving them formula now, then how will we manage after
Correct.
6 months?
Correct.
So definitely then they
Yes.
start formula feeding before six
So
months.
stress is also an important factor which might
Huh.
be reducing the breast milk output
Definitely
also.
nowadays the mothers are little stressful also. They
Hmm.
feel that
They want everything
matlab,
to be perfect.
yes, yes.
Hmm.
So in that pursuit of that perfection, sometimes the
Hmm.
things they
Okay.
definitely lag behind.
Okay.
So then after 6 months also there are various factors. So like definitely the dietary factors, and parents are the role models. So children will follow the parents.
Yes.
अगर parents कर रहे हैं, so gradually they are learning that. The children are eating very rapidly. Though
Because
that
you have to go to the tuitions.
so the life has become like that, so they are eating very rapidly. So that also causes obesity.
Okay.
Then they are like the sleep. Second most important is sleep. They are not getting adequate sleep. A normal 5 to 10 years old child should sleep for at least 10 hours per day.
Okay.
And children above 10 years should have at least 9 hours of sleep per day.
So daytime sleep and nighttime sleep combined.
Combined, yes,
Okay.
combined. So
So if
that
he's
many
sleeping for
hours.
8 hours in the
Yes,
night, which is
yes,
the normal case,
yes.
he should be sleeping a little bit in the daytime
Yes,
also.
yes.
Which might not be possible because of schools,
School,
tuitions, and all the
tuitions,
classes that we
everything.
impose on
Yes.
them.
So these all lack of sleep also
Okay.
causes a kind of stress in the body.
Ah,
So ideally 1 hour per day of physical activity should be there for
for a
kids,
child.
for a child. And in infants it is told that at least 30 minutes of tummy time should be given to kids till 1 year of age per
Okay.
day.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. That would help reduce obesity.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, yes.
that's
30
interesting.
minutes of tummy time. So if the child are in the prone position, so that will
By
help
prone, they mean on the tummy.
on the
You
tummy
will be
time.
sleeping.
Yes. So these some small things they can help to prevent the chances of obesity.
Interesting.
Even the schools should include a curriculum where the children are made to play for at least 30 minutes per day in the school hours itself.
Yes.
So that is the few things. Screen time, very important.
Yeah.
Nowadays the children are glued to the screen.
Mm.
So ideally in the first 2 years the screen time should be absolutely zero. But
Oh,
ऐसा होता नहीं
it's
है.
impossible.
Yeah, so that is very difficult
Because
thing.
parents themselves have a certain screen time,
Yes.
and that is what the child sees
Yeah.
and follows.
Yes, so that is the thing. So all these factors mixed together, they have caused an increase in the incidence of childhood obesity these days. So there's a simple mnemonic of 5210 which we follow. At least a child should have 5 servings of fruits and vegetables per day.
Oh,
By two, we mean at least they should have a less screen time of less than 2 hours. 1 is at least 1 hour of physical activity per day,
Okay.
and 0 is the zero intake of sweetened carbonated beverages.
Okay.
So the
Alright.
mnemonic of 5210.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
That's great. So, Dr. Nidhi, only 2% children, as per the recent reports in India, are actually vaccinated for cervical cancer. Now, how important is cervical cancer? Like, only a few people in India know the importance of cervical cancer, and should a male child get this vaccine? At till what age can the female get? Can you just tell us something about it?
So, see, cervical cancer is basically caused by a virus, that is a human papilloma virus, HPV we call it. And up till now, till 23, we were giving this cervical cancer vaccine only to the females because we thought that it only protects against cervical cancer, which is obviously the second most common cause of cancer in females in India after breast cancer. But abhi in 2024 guidelines, the guidelines have come up for immunization guidelines where they clearly state that this vaccine is beneficial even for the boys as early as 9 to 14 years of age. The reason being, HPV has been associated with various other cancers like oropharyngeal cancers,
Of the mouth.
of the
Cancer of the
mouth,
mouth.
head and neck cancers,
Yeah.
penile cancers,
Oh.
anal cancers, and
Okay.
anogenital warts.
Okay.
So HPV has been linked to various cancers which are obviously found in boys also.
Anogenital warts are like a swelling like thing around the
Yes.
anus and the genital
Yes,
regions,
correct.
right?
Yes. So that is a very highly
These are
infectious
all
condition
sexually
or
transmitted
sexually
diseases?
transmitted diseases. So we
Okay.
are giving it to protect cervical cancer. The onset of cervical cancer is obviously after the sexual contact only.
Okay.
So it is the same thing with
Okay.
boys. It will
Okay.
prevent the penile cancer in boys,
Okay.
prevent the anal cancer in boys.
Okay.
So it is as early we attack the thing, the better results we get.
Correct.
So we found that earlier 3 doses were given, but then it was studied that if we give the vaccination as early as 9 to 14 years, even 2 doses they produce the same immune results as there are 3 doses of vaccines.
Okay.
So now in kids 9 to 14 years, we give 2 doses of vaccines, 0 month and 6 month.
Okay.
But in children above 14 years of age, we give 3 doses,
Okay.
0, 2 and 6 months.
Okay. So at a gap of 2 months and
Yes,
then at a gap of
4 months,
4 months
from the second dose.
Okay.
Yes.
Alright.
So there are basically two types of cervical cancer vaccines available. One is a 4-valent vaccine and one is a 9-valent
I
vaccine.
think people will not know.
Yeah. Okay.
Ma'am, if till what age can somebody take the cervical cancer vaccine? Like in their 20s and 30s, after they are married, after they are already exposed
Yes.
to STDs.
So one brand of this vaccine, the 4-valent, is there, which can be taken till 35 years of age. So
Okay.
that is the upper limit of this vaccine.
Okay.
Yes.
After that, anyways, they are exposed
Yes.
and there's nothing that can be done.
No.
Okay.
But because it is a prevention, it is not a
Correct.
cure. So
So-
once that virus is harbored inside, we cannot cure it. So it is a prevention to prevent the colonization of the virus inside us.
Inside us.
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Since ma'am, you are also a fellow in pediatric nephrology. Pediatric nephrology is a special branch in pediatrics wherein the doctor is specially trained for kidney diseases in children. So ma'am, urinary tract infections is
Yeah.
quite common in kids. What are those telltale signs which the parent can identify or maybe which would help parents navigate the problem better?
So see, basically UTI is like any child who comes to us with fever, especially you say an infant or a neonate, a child as early as 1 month of age or 1 to 3 months of age. If a baby is coming to us with fever, we should always get a urine RM and urine culture sensitivity done. Urine RM is during routine microscopy and urine culture sensitivity done. So because the younger kids, they do not have very clear cut signs and symptoms of urinary tract infection. जैसे ओल्डर किड्स एंड अडल्ट्स में क्या होता है, वी गेट बर्निंग इन यूरिन, वी गेट पेन वाइल पासिंग यूरिन, देर इज यूरिनरी अर्जेंसी, बार बार यूरिन जाने का फ्रीक्वेंसी. सो दोज क्लियर कट साइंस ऑफ यूटीआई may not be there in the small children.
Okay.
They can only present with fever.
Oh.
or they can present with mild pain abdomen.
Hmm.
वो भी वो localize नहीं कर पाते कि where they are having the pain. It
Exactly in
is
the abdomen.
हाँ
Upper abdomen,
upper
lower
abdomen में
abdomen.
है, lower में है.
हाँ.
So basically any child who is coming to us with fever where we are not finding any other focalizing signs and symptoms, for those we should always order a urine routine microscopy at least.
Okay.
And if it shows something, we should go ahead with the urine culture.
Okay,
Yes.
understood. Great. So, thank you for being on this podcast, ma'am.
Yeah.
I think we have discussed such important details today, which every Indian parent, not just the Indian mother, even the Indian father, should know. Because this is actually going to help prevent a lot of problems like obesity, how to correctly manage fever. Of course, that's the job of a doctor, but there are certain important signs which a parent can identify because of this podcast now. So, thank you so much, Nidhi ma'am. Thank you for having
Thank you, Dr. Aditi, for having me here. And even we also want to do the best as pediatricians, what we can do. So, it's a message to all the parents that just be vigilant of what is happening in your child's life. At least spend some quality time with your children. At least maybe 15 minutes per day is also a sufficient time.
Wow.
So, just spend that much time and just be involved in their lives.
Thank you. That's a great message.